Are we required to share?
When you are registering on that,
Hello and welcome to Express News. I'm Abhishek Mahajan. In the next half an hour, we'll give you all the latest updates. Let's start with our top story. BJP today reiterated that it would run the Bihar Assembly election under the leadership of Chief Minister Nitish Kumar. BJP State President Dr. Sanjay Jaiswal today briefed the media and said that the NDA is strong and whoever is not in the alliance is free to run the election as per their wish. Bihar Chief Minister Nitish Kumar said JDU will contest on 122 seats and BJP on 121 in 243-member assembly. External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar began his Tokyo visit with a bilateral meeting with US Secretary of State Mike Pompeo today. External Affairs Minister also attended the second India-Australia-Japan-USA ministerial meeting post-COVID-19 international order and the need for a coordinated response to the various challenges emerging from the pandemic is on agenda. External Affairs Minister said that India is committed to work for upholding rules-based international order, freedom of navigation in international seas, respect for territorial integrity and sovereignty, and peaceful resolution of dispute. Dr. Abdullah, Chairman of the High Council for National Reconciliation, is in India. This is his first visit to India after the formation of a new government in Kabul following last year's election. Chairman of the High Council of National Reconciliation of Afghanistan, Dr. Abdullah, is accompanied by a high-ranking Afghan delegation. Is on his way to Delhi. He will meet top Indian leadership to discuss the intra-Afghan negotiations currently underway at Doha in Qatar. Ministry of Information and Broadcasting has issued standard operating procedure today for reopening the cinema halls and multiplexes from October 15th. Union Minister for Information and Broadcasting Prakash Javadekar said that it is mandatory to play a 1-minute movie or an announcement on COVID-19 either prior to or in between the show. Prakash Javadekar said that online ticket booking will be encouraged. Ticket counters will also be increased in order to maintain social distancing. Packet foods will be served. The theatres and cinema halls will be allowed to open with 50% of their capacity. Precautions including wearing masks, maintaining social distancing and hand sanitization will be mandatory inside cinema halls. Minister of Commerce and Industry Piyush Goyal virtually released results of the first edition of National Startup Awards to 36 budding startups. The first edition of the awards were given across 12 sectors. Piyush Goyal said that India is third largest startup ecosystem in the world and startup awards will provide high potential of employment generation in the country. The minister also stressed on the need of change from present scenario of job seekers to job providers through startups and also highlighted on government's commitment to support and encourage youth to innovate more attractive ideas. The UP government has urged the Supreme Court to direct a CBI probe into the HATHRAS case, saying it will ensure that no vested interest is able to create a fake and false narrative with oblique motives. Bombay High Court today heard the petition of Sushant Singh Rajput's sisters for quashing the FIR under sections in the NDPS Act filed by Riya Chakrabarti. The Bandra police lodged the FIR against the duo on September 7th for forgery and procuring fake medical prescription for their late brother based on a complaint filed by actress Riya Chakrabarti. The matter was adjourned to 13th October after Riya's lawyer Satish Manishinde sought time to file a reply on the plea. A Mumbai court on Tuesday extended the judicial custody of actress Riya Chakrabarti and her brother Shouvik Chakrabarti till October 20th. Now in Kerala gold smuggling case, National Investigation Agency tells Special NIA Court Kochi that the main conspirators in the case, Fazal Farid and Rabin Samir, have been arrested in UAE. India continues to report a trend of steadily declining active cases as a percentage of the total positive cases. India continues to report decline in active cases. And also presently, the active cases comprise merely 13.75% of the total positive cases of the country, standing at 9,19,023. The total recovered cases stand at 56,62,490. The gap between recovered cases and active cases has crossed 47 lakh. With increasing number of recoveries, this gap is continuously widening. Higher number of recoveries has aided the national recovery rate to further improve to 84.70%. 75,787 have recovered and discharged in the last 24 hours, whereas the new confirmed cases stand at 61,267. 74% of the new recovered cases are observed to be concentrated in 10 states and union territories: Maharashtra, Andhra Pradesh, Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, Kerala, Uttar Pradesh, Odisha, Delhi, Chhattisgarh and West Bengal. Average daily COVID-19 positivity rate declines from 9.21% recorded between September 16 to 22nd to 6.82% from September 30th to October 6th, according to Health Ministry. Health Ministry says that number of tests conducted for detection of COVID-19 in India is second highest in the world. And according to the Indian Council of Medical Research, 10,89,403 samples were tested for COVID-19 yesterday. Total of 8,10,71,797 samples have been tested in the country so far. Union Health Minister Harshvardhan today released AYUSH Standard Treatment Protocol today via video conference. The AYUSH Standard Treatment Protocol details Ayurveda and Yoga interventions in dealing with the novel coronavirus. And reacting on Farm Reform Act, Union Finance Minister NIRMALA SITHARAMAN said that enough consultations held with stakeholders. MSP will continue to be there as it is infused in the process of determining prices. Domestic equities rallied for the fourth successive session on Tuesday on account of broad-based buying by participants amid positive global cues. The BSE SENSEX zoomed 600.87 points or 1.54% to close at 39,574.57. Intraday, the index surged over 650 points to touch this session's high of 39,623.76 before pairing some gains. Nifty climbed 159.05 points or 1.38% to end at 11,662.40. And gold prices rose by Rs 454 to Rs 51,879 per 10 gram in the national capital on Tuesday amid rupee depreciation, according to HDFC Securities. And also silver prices jumped Rs 751 to Rs 63,127 per kilogram from Rs 62,376 per kilogram in the previous trade. The rupee paired initial gains and settled for the day 17 paise lower at 73.46. Provisional against the US dollar on Tuesday. At the interbank forex market, the domestic unit opened at 73.17, tracking positive domestic equities and weak greenback, but soon paired the gains and finally closed at 73.46, down 17 paise over its previous close of 73.29. Crude oil futures on Tuesday fell by 0.69% to Rs 2,879 per barrel as participants reduced their positions on low demand. The Reserve Bank of India will announce monetary policy on October 9th. The next meeting of the Monetary Policy Committee is scheduled during October 7th to October 9th. Expanding the reach of environment-friendly compressed natural gas in various areas, Minister of Petroleum and Natural Gas and Steel Sridharmendra Pradhan today dedicated 42 CNG stations and 3 city gate stations of Torrent gas to the service of the community. Pradhan said that an investment of about $60 billion, which is more than Rs 4 lakh crore, is being made in the gas infrastructure, which includes laying of pipelines, terminals, gas fields. He said that the country is moving towards the gas-based economy, which is not only clean and efficient fuel, but will also help in reducing the country's dependence on imported crude oil. The death toll across the world has surpassed the 10 lakh mark. As per the latest update, 10.46 lakh have died worldwide due to COVID-19. Over 3.57 crore have been affected by COVID-19 worldwide. As many as 2.68 crore people have recovered from the virus so far. The United States continues to top the global tally, being the worst hit country by the pandemic so far. The US has the highest number of cases with over 76.79 lakh infected and more than 2.15 lakh deaths. due to COVID-19. And in terms of death toll, Brazil stands second on the tally with over 1.46 lakh deaths. There are more than 49.40 lakh cases of COVID-19 in Brazil. Dr. Michael Ryan, speaking to a special session of the WHO's 34-member executive board focusing on COVID-19, said that the figures vary from urban to rural and between different groups, but that ultimately it means the vast majority of the world remains at risk. WHO also said that the current best estimates tells us that about 10% of the global population may have been infected by this virus. 3 days after being admitted with COVID-19, US President Donald Trump today returned to the White House from Walter Reed Medical Center, although the medical team treating him cautioned that he is not out of the woods yet. White House Press Secretary Kyle McEnany has tested positive for COVID-19. McEnany has become the highest-ranking White House official to be tested positive for COVID-19 after President Donald Trump and the First Lady tested positive for the deadly virus. Democratic presidential candidate Joe Biden has urged President Donald Trump to support a nationwide mask mandate to effectively launch a fight against the coronavirus pandemic. Joe Biden, who was addressing a campaign event in the swing state of Florida, attacked the president for downplaying the seriousness of the disease even after contracting. Argentina's coronavirus cases have crossed 8 lakh mark with constant spike in new cases of infection and fatalities despite 7 months of quarantine. The Latin American country is already reeling under economic doldrums, and the virus has further shaken the health infrastructure of Argentina, which is among the worst affected countries in the region. The country has so far 8,09,728 cases of infection, while the death toll is 21,468. The government in Ireland is set to reject a recommendation by its health chiefs to go into lockdown. The country will, however, be tightening its present COVID-19 restrictions. And also, Ireland has reported the highest number of daily new infections since late April. The country has more than 38,500 cases of coronavirus infection, along with deaths crossing over 1,000. Malaysian Prime Minister has gone into quarantine for 14 days after coming into contact with a minister who tested positive for COVID-19. 3 more bodies were discovered on the French side of the border with Italy after severe mountain flooding ravaged parts of both countries, leaving at least 12 dead. Protesters in Bishkek clashed with police in Kyrgyzstan's capital on Monday during a demonstration against the results of a parliamentary election. Dozens of people have been injured. NATO Secretary General Jens Stoltenberg met with Turkish President Tayyip Erdogan in Turkish capital Ankara on Monday. Earlier, Stoltenberg called for a ceasefire in Nagorno-Karabakh as the death toll continues to rise from clashes in the breakaway enclave in the South Caucasus. Tropical storm Gama battered Mexico's Gulf Coast with heavy rain and flooding, claiming 5 lives so far. The storm has weakened to tropical depression after causing massive destruction, compelling people to evacuate to safer places. The village of Kampong Lorong, Buangkok, composed of 26 kampongs, one-story wooden houses, has become a hotspot for domestic tourists spinning for novelty, while borders remain tightly shut due to the coronavirus pandemic. This has provided Singapore a chance to bolster its local tourism industry. London's Royal Opera House is to sell a 1970s painting by David Hockney as it seeks to raise cash to get through the COVID-19 pandemic, the worst crisis in its history. Hockney's portrait of David Webster will be put up for auction at Christie's on October 22nd. It is estimated to be worth between 11 and 18 million pounds. Christie's described the portrait by the octogenarian Hockney, considered one of the giants of British art in the 20th and 21st centuries, as an extraordinary painting that perfectly captures the artist's mastery of paint and flair for color. Mexico's legendary masked wrestlers have taken the show outdoors as the arenas remained closed. The arenas would usually draw thousands of spectators to country's freestyle wrestling known as lucha libre. They have implemented strict health and social distancing measures to ensure fans can enjoy the show safely. French fashion label AMI pushed the boat out for its latest fashion show in Paris by hosting its catwalk display on the banks of the Seine River at dusk. The brand, founded just under 10 years ago by designer Alexandre Mathieusi, is one of a reduced number presenting collections with physical events this season. One of tennis's greatest ever player will meet one of its future stars as Rafael Nadal takes on Jannik in a mouth-watering quarter-final clash at the French Open. Now in women's singles, world number 54 Iga Swiatek will meet world number 159 Martina Trevisan for a spot in the French Open semi-finals. Top seed Novak Djokovic reached the French Open quarterfinals for a record-extending 11th successive year by easing through his biggest test yet in Russian 15th seed Karen Khachanov. The 33-year-old serve was pushed throughout by Khachanov but had too much quality in a 6-4, 6-3, 6-3 win. Novak Djokovic will face Spanish 17th seed Pablo Carreno Busta next, who beat German qualifier Daniel Altamir. Greek 5th seed Stefanos Tsitsipas reached his first quarterfinal with victory over Bulgarian Grigor Dimitrov. Stefanos Tsitsipas overcame an eye problem to beat Grigor Dimitrov of Bulgaria 6-3, 7-6, 6-2. Tsitsipas will now take on Andrei Rublev in a repeat of the recent Hamburg final, which was won by the Russian. Andrei Rublev completed another memorable comeback on Monday to reach the quarterfinals at Roland Garros for the first time. Rublev defeated Hungary's Martin Fucsovics 6-7, 7-5, 6-4, 7-6. Two-time Wimbledon champion Petra Kvitova reached the French Open quarterfinals for the first time in 8 years. Number 7 seed Kvitova defeated Chinese Zhang Shuai 6-2, 6-4, and also she will next face Laura Siegemund, a first-time slam quarterfinalist. Sofia Kenin moved into the French Open quarterfinals with a 2-6, 6-2, 6-1 victory over Fiona Ferro of France. Manchester United have signed former Paris Saint-Germain striker Edinson Cavani on a free transfer. And Cavani has signed a 2-year deal at Old Trafford, while both the club and player have the option to break the agreement after 1 year. And also Arsenal have signed Atletico Madrid's Thomas Partey before Monday's transfer deadline. The midfielder completed a medical on Monday after the Gunners triggered his £45 million release clause. Moving on to Juventus now, they have signed Italy winger Federico Chiesa from Fiorentina in a deal worth up to €60 million just hours before the close of the transfer window. Moving on to badminton news now, Saina Nehwal and Parupalli Kashyap pulled out of the Denmark Open Super 750 tournament, which will restart the international calendar at Odense from October 13th. The withdrawal of former world number 1 Saina Nehwal, one of the Olympic hopefuls for next year's Tokyo Olympic Games, means there will be no Indian participation in the women's singles event at Odense, as world champion PV Sindhu has already pulled out of the tournament. The Sports Authority of India has asked all its coaches to take age-appropriate fitness tests twice a year. The coaches have also been asked to maintain the record for the same in their personal files. Najib Tarakai, Afghanistan's top-order batsman, passed away on Tuesday. Tarakai had featured in 1 T20 international and 12 one-day internationals for Afghanistan, primarily as an opening batsman. The 29-year-old met with an accident on Friday and was brought to a nearby hospital in critical condition, where he also underwent a surgery. November's Turkish Grand Prix will take place without spectators on advice from the country's coronavirus provincial pandemic committee. The IOC and local organizers are trying to simplify the postponed Tokyo Olympics, promising to save money in what one study says is already the most expensive Summer Olympics on record. Moving on to Bollywood now, actor Tiger Shroff's maiden singing attempt with single Unbelievable has made it to the coveted Billboard Top Thriller global charts, placing him among international artists. The actor took to Instagram to share with fans the milestone. He credited their love and support for putting his single on the international map. Superstar Salman Khan announced that he has resumed shooting for his action drama Radhe, Your Most Wanted Bhai. Taking to Instagram, Khan shared a picture from the set wearing a jacket with his back facing the camera. The film was earlier scheduled to hit the screens on May 22nd. Another Bollywood actor, Bobby Deol, who completed 25 years in Hindi cinema, says he is grateful to his fans for being a constant support through thick and thin. Son of Bollywood veteran Dharmendra, the actor made a promising lead debut with Rajkumar Santoshi's Barsat opposite another star child Twinkle Khanna in 1995. Lately, Bobby made his digital debut this year with the Netflix film Class of '83. The cast of filmmaker Priyadarshan's Hangama 2, including Paresh Rawal, Shilpa Shetty and Mizan, have left for Manali, Himachal Pradesh to resume shoot for the comedy. The film is a sequel to 2003 comedy hit Hangama, which also starred Paresh Rawal. Shilpa Shetty took to Instagram and posted a picture with the cast. Actor Tamanna Bhatia has tested positive for coronavirus. The actor shared the news on Monday via an Instagram post. Tamanna Bhatia said she admitted herself to a private hospital in Hyderabad last week after testing positive for COVID-19. The actor added that she has now been discharged. Christopher Nolan's latest Tenet has crossed the $300 million mark worldwide. It is made on a budget of around $200 million and will need to collect several times that figure just to break even. The film involves a concept called inversion, which both Christopher Nolan and the actors have made clear is not time travel. In fact, it is a sort of communication with the future. Sofia Vergara is the highest paid female actor in the world according to Forbes' latest list. She made $43 million in a one-year period, which is equivalent of rupees 315 crore. Also included in the top 10 are Angelina Jolie, Gal Gadot, Melissa McCarthy, Meryl Streep, Emily Blunt and Nicole Kidman. According to Forbes, most of Vergara's earnings came from Modern Family and America's Got Talent, which she padded up with endorsement deals. In a chat session with the Terminator actor Arnold Schwarzenegger, his filmmaker James Cameron revealed that he has finished shooting the second installment of Avatar, is about to wrap the third installment as well. While the release of the upcoming installments have been postponed by a year, the makers had resumed the shooting of the film in New Zealand after it was halted due to the pandemic. After MCU postponing the release of its upcoming Phase 4 films due to the ongoing coronavirus pandemic, Vin Diesel's Fast and Furious 9 and Daniel Craig's upcoming James Bond flick No Time to Die release has also been delayed. While F9 will be released on May 28, 2021, the 25th Bond film has been scheduled to release on April 2nd, 2021, which is next year now. Earlier this week, Oscar winner Joaquin Phoenix and his fiancée Rooney Mara become parents as they welcome a baby boy. According to reports, the couple has even named their son after Phoenix's late brother River Phoenix. The duo, who got engaged last year in July, met on the sets of Mary Magdalene in 2016. Well, that's all we have in Express News. Stay tuned for more news and updates. Namaskar.